Oh, cool.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckin Around. My name's Tyler,
I'm Steve.
and today we are really excited to have Hebah, also known as Royal Pain, on the show. You may know Hebah from TikTok or Instagram at Royal Pain is me. If you don't, make sure to check her out.
How cool is that name?
It is a really cool name, and I have to say, I think all of her content is just phenomenal as well. I'm really excited to really sit down with Hebah and talk a little bit about how she got into magic and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, dude, the day that you mentioned her to me, because as we all know, I don't do TikTok, and that's where you found her. But you mentioned her to me, and I started following her on Instagram, and man, just crushes it. She's a savage.
Absolutely. And before we forget, if you haven't already, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, guys. We drop these Deckin Around episodes every Thursday live, and we also have a bunch of other amazing content, so make sure to check it out.
Don't forget to ring the bell.
Yeah, don't forget to ring the bell. I'm so used to saying drop things when this is a live one, but whatever, you know.
Let's drop our sponsors.
Yeah, so here's a quick word from our sponsors. Introducing the Latin Quarter playing cards and gaming chips from McClure and Stark. This ultimate poker player's chipset will turn every poker night into an underground casino night. Make sure to check them out on Kickstarter now.
Marvelous decks, masterfully crafted, meticulously recreated with a specialized printing process that utilizes multiple holographic foils and sculpted embossing. No compromises were made when recreating these feathers at a zoomed-in scale. Pre-sale starts 9/26/2020. Stay tuned for remaining details. MarvelousDecks.com or Marvelous Decks on Instagram.
And thanks so much to our sponsors, Marvelous Decks and Latin Quarter Gaming Chips. Make sure to check them both out soon. I know Marvelous Decks actually dropped a little bit of a teaser about the Tuck design the other day. Absolutely beautiful looking deck, so make sure to check them out. So, Steve, you ready for a fun episode, man?
Let's do it.
Yeah, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Without further ado, here is Hebah.
Hebah!
Oh, how are we doing, guys?
How you doing today, Hebah?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you for asking, Tyler.
So
I had to wear my hair down, so I
needed,
you know,
definitely for sure. It's brilliant. I love it.
That is too funny.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you mentioned that recently you actually trekked out from the East Coast. You're initially from New York, but you're out in California right now. How's that life treating you right now?
Whoa, it's been so good. I've lived in New York my whole life, so I never experienced the nice weather that we have here in Cali.
How'd you like hanging out on Mars yesterday?
Oh, that was crazy. If you got the wildfires,
yeah.
I woke up and I thought I was in a different universe. I woke up late, so that didn't help. I woke up, everything's orange. I'm like,
it's crazy. It looked like it looked literally like it was 3 a.m. at noon.
Yeah. It was definitely something I had to adjust to, and it's still kind of a little bit orangey in the sky, but
yeah. Hopefully it settles down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think when Steve posted that picture initially, I was like, "What is going on?" I immediately messaged him. I'm like, "You good, dude? Like everything all right?" It's crazy.
Where are you guys? You're in California, right? Or
I'm like 30 minutes away from you right now. You're in San Fran. I'm in Petaluma.
Yeah, and then I'm in Jersey. So clear skies here. Just an earthquake earlier this week, randomly. So
thank God I'm not on there.
Matt says he likes your beard, Tyler.
Yeah, Matt, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. It's about 3 months from coming off, so we got some time with it, but it's got a lifespan on it now.
Mm-hmm.
How come nobody compliments me on my beard? What's the deal with that? It's funny. Yeah, no, my beard is definitely not on point.
Tyler 2020. Anyway.
Tyler has the beard. Everybody always talks about my hair.
Dude, yeah, the beard was I thought quarantine would not be as long, so quarantine beard has grown into like a full beard, and we'll see how it goes. But
well, no one's looking at you except all the people live on here.
Exactly. I mean, lot of views over time, but you know what? It's I saw a picture of myself without a beard the other day, and I was like, oh man, that's what I look like. So that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what you look like too.
Caitlin is less than thrilled that I'm shaving my beard, but it happens. So Hebah, how has COVID been treating you? I know this is kind of part of the motivation of what got you into magic again.
So I'm as much as it it stuck, this whole situation, it really sparked this whole thing of me starting TikTok. I wouldn't have started it. I wouldn't have started making videos if it wasn't for this whole COVID thing. I originally, like, I posted an Omegle video just because I needed like some way to practice, just because I couldn't go out. So that was the first video that ever got viral in a sense. And yeah, I just been taking this time to like just learn as much as I can. Although like it has been kind of challenging balancing everything because things have been going pretty fast. Like I'm going to LA in a couple days. I'm gonna collab with like some pretty big magicians out here, and
Sweet.
like I looked up to them like before this all happened. So I'm just really, really grateful that I got this opportunity, and it's growing as time passes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, you're a hard worker. You're putting in the time, so it's definitely well deserved for sure.
Thank you, Steve. I still have so much to learn. Like that doesn't go out to.
I mean, it'll never go away, especially in this world of magic. It's endless. It literally is endless.
I mean, yeah, you look at the amount of new tricks and gimmicks and sleights and all that are coming out every week. It's a lot. It's always an evolving field, which is kind of the cool thing about it, though, is everyone to some extent is continuously learning within it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and even though I see some of these like Alex Pandrea, I'm just gonna I love him anyway. He is very inspiring to me just because he started out as a youngin doing magic, and like he's taken it way past just performing magic. Like I really appreciate his like business sense. Like he made knocks and everything, and that's something like I do want to put out my own deck of cards one day. So
that would be awesome.
I'm like trying to follow his path. He posts YouTube videos and tutorials. I learn from him, and then I put my own little take on it. And yeah, I credit him to a lot of my success because I learned a lot of things from him. So.
Nice.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Alex. As everybody knows, I am a defender of the Knock brand for sure. The Knock gets a lot of bad words. Yeah, I mean, I got mine right here. We did the same thing the other day. There's mine.
Really good color.
I have more than one on my desk though. I have like they're all over the place. But so I mean, I agree. I think the way he does his tutorials is definitely more in depth and more about the logic behind magic, as well as just not just showing how to do a move or something like that. But he really breaks it down for you. Yeah, and he's all about the basics. He's not about all crazy trick stuff and
And that's the best thing about it. Like David Blaine, for instance, he started off with like the most simple card tricks and everything, but his performance style is like no one could
he's something else. He really is something else.
Yeah. I saw a video actually, I think Alex posted it, to be honest, but I saw a video of David Blaine doing a double lift. and he flashed. It was on national television.
Oh my God.
It was on.
I didn't realize too.
It was amazing. It was when he first started out, and he was doing a trick. I don't know if it was for Conan O'Brien. It was for one of those big television shows, and they zoomed in while he was doing a double lift, and you could see like how he was kind of bumbling with it.
I have this nightmare. I have a nightmare about that.
It was it was great.
It's too funny though. Yeah, I think that's something that everyone has to start somewhere, and I think ultimately, realizing that you're not going to come into magic being perfect, and it takes a ton of practice is so crucial.
Oh yeah, it's tough. It does take a long time to work it, and it's interesting because I think one of the most important, I guess, sleights is the DPS, and I don't know how many times I've tried that. Just not tried it, but worked it, and I got it, from Alex's video with Shin, and just worked the crap out of it while I'm watching TV for hours and hours and hours, and you can never do it enough. It just it's crazy. Some of these moves you just have to keep doing it and learn the movement over and over and over, and then eventually it clicks.
I mean, that's what it really is. It's a lot of muscle memory, and if you don't have that willingness to learn, then you're always going to be, and nothing against being, a beginner magician. I'm barely a beginner magician because I don't have that drive to continuously practice. But at the same time, like, I can do a couple things and I enjoy them. And I think, that's what a lot of people get stuck with is how do you get to that next level, And I mean, I think for you, again, COVID started and you kind of just realized that you needed to continue doing that practice. How much time do you, spend with a lot of this stuff?
Well, someone has asked me this before, and there's not like a time that I could give you. It's daily for sure.
Yeah.
First thing you get a deck of cards. It's always in my hands. If I'm walking around watching TV, I gotta practice something. And it's just daily work. And what I realized is if I don't practice all the time, I can't move on to the next thing. Like, that's just something in my mind that if I don't perfect this right now and within the next week or something, I can't move on to the next trick. That's just because fumbling through a lot of things, like, I don't want to be okay at like 5 things. I want to be so amazing and at one thing, then I'll move on to the next. That's why I've sticking to like basic card tricks just because I'm not going to hype myself up, but I can do them with my eyes closed, and
okay to hype yourself up too. Go for it.
This is definitely the show for it. No, I think that's important though, and I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, there's YouTube videos, and you can search for anything and anything and anything, and it literally just you can find probably a different video for a year all day long. There's so much stuff on YouTube, so sticking with say the 15, 20 things or even 10 things or 5 things, I think, until you literally feel like you have it with your eyes closed. I think that's important because I want to say everybody is individually known. They have their own thing that they're known for. Each person is known for something, right? And I think that's because they've just found a move that they really like or they wanted to perfect, and they just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And then you have the people that are just the upper level ones that keep working that for each trick that they learn, so they can just perform it with their eyes closed regardless of what it is.
That was one of the biggest like insecurities that I had. I was doubting myself just because when I first started, I wanted to learn everything just because I was getting traction on TikTok, and I was like, I can't let these people know that I don't know that many things. So there was a couple months where I was just trying to learn way too many things, and it ended up overwhelming me. And that's where I ended up perfecting this single card vanish, this over here. This one took me like years. This one right here by Andre J.
Andre.
And if it wasn't
he is brilliant.
He was a big part of why I started Magic, because of that one move. Because I would just do it over and over and over on my TikTok, and people are sick of it. I'm not gonna lie. I do get comments like, "Stop doing the same trick over again." And I'm like, "Okay, you called me out. That's cool."
Time to move on to another trick. Hebah.
I mean, let's also be honest, though. 90% of TikTok is people doing the same exact dance throughout 40 videos to see how it plays. So, like,
that's why I will not get on TikTok. And
Steve, I think
they're harsh. The comments are very like, they'll get to your insecurity and point it out, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't need this. I already have it. Don't give this to me.
I feel like TikTok's comment game is very similar to like Reddit. Like, people don't pull punches and like will harp on anything, even if it's like absolutely wrong or not even relevant. Like, you'll be in there and people will just drop random comments and you're like, man, that hurt, but like, I don't even know who you are. Like,
so you gotta just brush it off, take it with a grain of salt.
And it's so funny what people write, even in DMs or what. It doesn't even matter. People are always going to comment. I actually got a comment the other day in my direct message on Instagram, and I actually sent it to Tyler, and it was some kid who I didn't have any friends, any mutual friends with, nothing. I didn't see like any connection. This kid was probably like 15 years old, and he sent me a screenshot that said some racist slur. Like, it was basically calling him a darky, right? It said, "Are you a darkie or some like that?"
Some like that.
Like SUM like that. And I'm like, first of all,
just a block.
No, I don't. I totally feed into it. I'm like, bro. First of all, I don't even know you. Second of all, who says darky and some? Like, I would never talk that way. I literally said that. I sent it to Tyler, and he's like, maybe you got hacked. I'm like, dude, no, I definitely didn't get hacked. Some idiot is like trying to
just troll you. Yeah,
it was so stupid. I'm like, some people just say the stupidest things.
That's the positive and the negative of the internet. The positive of the internet is everyone is accessible. The negative of the internet is everyone is accessible. Like,
yeah, and I was like an avid YouTube watcher my whole life. Like 9 years old. How old was I? This was like 2008. I was watching daily vloggers, so I was like taking in this data. Like, okay, this is how they build their audience. This is how they talk. But something that they always mentioned was like the negative comments. But now I'm kind of really understanding the full extent to it. Like, because you can't take it to heart. And some people do.
Right.
And
you definitely got to let it roll off for sure.
I mean, now I'm struggling with that, but also it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. And I think if nothing else, it's a good growth opportunity for when you do have, like, for people who it does hit, you know, you learn to realize that what other people think doesn't actually matter. Like,
that's what you just gotta you gotta do what Spidey does.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You gotta do what Spidey does. Spidey's like
he puts them on blast, basically. Like he'll basically like screenshot the comments and then post it and be like, if you actually wanted like me to interact with you and us to have a conversation, you shouldn't have started out like this. And like he'll just put people on blast, and I think it's.
But then he'll say he'll be like, oh, blah 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 blah. Now you're blocked, and he'll just block them.
Yeah. So yeah, not only does he like publicly put it out there, but then he blocks them. I'm like, man, you know what? Like sometimes that's what you need. Like, I'm a firm believer, and maybe it's because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm a firm believer that a lot of people don't realize how rude or insulting they sound on the internet. There are definitely trolls out there, but I like to believe that a lot of times when people say something and it's like, damn, that was kind of rude, I really think that it was unintentional. You know, they meant to say something, and maybe, you know, same with text message. When you get a text message, like all emotion is lost in a message. So maybe someone's typing something and it didn't come off the way they meant it, but
yeah, it's also it's just whoever comments, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's kind of like themselves, and that's what I'm learning, man. Like, I'm not trying to take it all too serious. It's just like you gotta move on. These people what are they doing with their lives? Nothing. If
you ever want a good example of someone who handles haters phenomenally, check out Cam Toner, who runs Organic Playing Cards. Okay. Cam will literally find people who are posting like hate on like a meme page about his decks, and he'll be like, thank you so much for the feedback. We really appreciate your support. I love hearing these kind of things. And he literally has the most positive outlook on life. He finds every single hater and like reaches out to them. And I guarantee you he is converting people to like the brand. It may not be everyone, it may not be 10%, but out of every 100 person, he's getting one person who's like, oh man, like I was kind of a jerk.
Let's be honest, there's some haters that still buy his decks.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just the irony of the collecting community. But so funny. I guess one of the questions too is, you know, like you said, COVID kind of got you into TikTok. Were you doing magic before that, and you know, at the same level or frequency?
So yes and no. I was in college. I graduated just this June. So when I got my deck, because I bought a deck of cards really spontaneously one day, like in my third year of college. I don't know why, or I bought it. And
what'd you buy?
It was the regular bicycle red playing card, and Rain Reed. You know what? I did magic as a kid. Let me see what I could do. So I learned the card spring, and I started learning different things from YouTube. And I would just do it for like my friends, you know. The first day of my last year of college, we had like they were promoting different clubs in the school, and it was outside, and there was just everyone. It was outside, and I had a break during my class. I was like, all right. And this was like the first time I remember performing for anyone that wasn't my friends. I went by myself, with my book bag, and I just started doing like 2-card Monty to people, and I was like, you know what? Let's see where this can take me. And it ended up being so good, and I felt like this is really something that I could do with my life, and I love it. I felt so comfortable. There was nothing else that I've done in my life that made me feel so. It felt so right, and I just continue to do it, like for my friends, people on the street. Like I had a 2-hour commute between class because I went to school in Brooklyn, and then I live in Staten Island, so there was like a long commute on the train, and I would always, have my deck of cards, shuffling. So there's people like asking me, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like they would just be staring at me. So I was like, okay, as much as I'm uncomfortable right now, I'm gonna just try to do magic tricks for them. And it was just like small things like that, getting me comfortable with just doing magic for anyone. So I guess those little small moments added up to me starting my TikTok. But I haven't done any like professional paid gigs or anything. It was just for my friends and for random people.
Which is so cool.
It's an awesome way to start, though.
Yeah, I mean, look at you got to start somewhere, right? And
yeah,
the following you have. Someone just said congratulations on what 405,000.
Oh man, thank you. Who was that?
That means that you literally got 50,000 followers in the matter of what, a couple weeks.
Yeah. Also,
like literally, because last time I checked, it was like 360, and now it's 405. So it's literally within the next past week.
It blows my mind every day, and
crazy.
It doesn't even feel real because of COVID. I've just been in my house. It just feels like numbers to me. But I feel like once I go out and I'm going to LA, I'm gonna this whole thing that I'm going to LA. I'm collabing with these people that I've watched since the beginning. That
are you allowed to tell us, or is it something you can't talk about yet?
They announced it. I'm gonna be collabing with Sean Does Magic, one of the biggest TikTok.
Nice. He is phenomenal.
Yeah, and also Evan the Card Guy. Both
cool.
Just
that is really cool.
Yeah, and
that is cool
for the whole thing. I really I feel like this is the start of something really big, and I've always wanted this since I was a kid. So
that's cool. Oh, that's exciting. While you're at it, tell Sean to get back to us.
Yeah.
We messaged him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll totally be on the show. It looks great." Blah. And then we responded and be like, "All right, cool, let's do it."
It was like right around the time when he hit 10 million, and then it just went quiet. And we're like, "Oh man!"
He's in 15, 16 millions.
I know he's grown phenomenally. I mean, it's crazy to see too. And I think that's one of the things that always astounds me about TikTok is compared to other social media, followings grow so slowly. Even people who are on Instagram who are crushing it after a month they have 10,000 followers. On TikTok, you can go from 0 to 100,000 in a day if you pick it right. It's crazy. And it's something else.
It's so crazy. Think about that. 15 million people.
Yeah.
And he gets his views are in the millions too. It's not there's not that many people watching. This guy, he knows how to keep reinventing his videos, which he's been doing for a year or so. And I'm struggling with that as well. How do I put out new stuff that people want to see?
New trick. It's just keep coming,
learning, putting out. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think when it comes down, because he does gimmicks too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He does a wide variety, and I think that adds to it.
Yeah.
I think once you collab with him, and then throw some of that other stuff in there. Oh, easy. Because there's certain things that you just can't do on TikTok, right?
Yeah, that's why I kind of used Omegle, that chatting website. I kind of used that.
Here we go.
That really helped me throughout this whole thing, just because there's no one to practice with. My mom is so sick of me doing magic tricks for her. She's like, "No, I've seen it all." And call me out too. It's not I'll do a trick. She's like, "I see that double. Don't even."
Yeah, she's like, "I see that."
Learning magic through watching. That's all.
My girlfriend does the same damn thing. She's such a heckler. She's definitely a heckler. I
have a problem. I have a problem trying to handle them just because I get so hurt. I'm like, "No, just please enjoy the magic." But all the time I'm like, "No, you know what? We are here to enjoy things."
Yeah.
Calm down.
Chris, you got to watch Chris Ramsay's video. Chris has a video of how have you seen that?
I've seen it. I watched it on the ferry, on the Staten Island ferry. I'll never forget. I put my earphones on and I'm like walking on the ferry, and he's like, "This is how you handle hecklers."
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, he's a great man.
So here's truly the comment of the night, and I think this is something we discussed earlier. Here you go. I'm gonna pull it up. Wait, where is it? There we go. I pull it up right there. And 100% true, because the funny thing is, I don't even need to be like, oh, what's the worst thing you've seen on Omega? We all know what it is.
It's constantly me skipping, or just like sometimes I'll just lay back and shuffle cards, and I'm like, oh, all right. I'll just skip it really quick.
We actually talked about this in our pre-game warm-up, and I just told her to go on there and kind of make fun of it, like totally like play into it, just kind of heckle them back, and then make them skip. Yes, that would be the best. I mean, you might be a little nauseous while you're doing it, but it'll be worth it,
I mean, ultimately,
you'll be like, oh, good thing is I have my blindfold. You can put your blindfold on and do your magic. It'd be perfect.
Blindfold magic.
That'd be so good. That actually would be good. You can do that.
I've done it. My last video.
No, I'm saying like when you're on Omegle. Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you for that. I needed ideas. I was really, really good.
You're getting some good love in the chat here too. Jane says Hebah is amazing. So
Jane.
Absolutely agreed. Jane, she is phenomenal. It's funny too, because I stumbled across you on Instagram, which I think is interesting because that's where you had the smaller following. And then I saw your TikTok and I was like, and I think I even said to Steve right away, I was like, at some point we have to have Hebah on the show, like phenomenal. And we had talked before you were doing the YouTube as well. And I was like, you just got to do a YouTube. You need to monetize the social and all that. And you posted the video. And I know a couple of the questions we got is people were saying, when are you going to do another YouTube video?
Ooh, it's a good question. I'm going to do it when I go to LA. I'm going to make, some collabs with them, and then just more tutorials as well, just because I do get a lot of comments like, I'm new to Magic. What can I do? I have no idea where to start. And I think that'll be really helpful, just because I didn't know where to start too. Like when I first did it, and it was just, it was too much to go like magicians on Google. Like I don't even know where to start. So it's good that if people are following me, I would much rather them learn from me than like someone that has no idea what they're talking about. So,
and I think we talked about it. You should well, I'll tell you a story about that. You should totally record your Omegle sessions and them on YouTube. People would love to see those because they'd be hilarious. I swear a lot of people do it, and most of them get views because of how they interact with those dirty dudes.
You want to talk about how to figure out how to deal with a heckler, like talk about the worst heckler you could ever see right there. Like
seriously, it'd be hilarious. I'd watch the crap out of that. It'd be
so
funny.
we are getting a request from Stu because he's got choppy internet today that he wants to see a deck sniff before we get too far in, and I think it's why not? So
why not?
we talked about this in the past. It's a tradition of the show. Stu is kind of an amazing member of the card community and has actually been on the show before as well. And we always like to do a sniff for Stu during the show. So what deck are you going to be sniffing today?
So today, I have two decks. So I'm going to leave the other one for my magic tricks, but this is a
nice.
Playing
very
card,
nice
11
version 1.
Yeah, version 1. Very similar to Nox, but I really, really appreciate this deck. And do we just go straight into it or what?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Do whatever you got to do. You know that Alex helped with that deck, right?
Woo! Who?
You know that Alex helped with that deck?
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, that makes so much sense. Because I was like, who's ripping off Nox right now? But okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He helped with that deck.
Charlie A. What? Yeah.
What do you think of the smell of the deck? So I'm sure you've.
Well, I've had this for like a little while, so it's not. But I do. Okay, these are newer than the ones I have. This is Alex deck, the new Nox, 10 out of 10. Nice. Recommend. That's more like it. Ooh. I do this all the time. It's not like I'm just doing it now. I do this every single
I think
Nice.
a lot of people really get into the idea of sniffing a deck, and it's one of those things where like curiosity takes over. You know, you're like, hey, I have it. What's that smell? Why not?
Smell too. It's not. It makes me feel better. Makes the
What
world-
number do you have on your little limited edition there?
Oh, so this one I have. So I don't know if you can even see that. 1,677 out of
Nice.
2,000.
Nice.
Nice.
What's-
I got 605 right here.
Ooh, we're pretty close. Yeah, I bought this like the first day. I was like, no way am I gonna miss this shop again. Because this last one I love so much. The light blue ones. Oh, I wish I had these. But definitely I had to buy them.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I always get a kick out of the real diehard Alex Pandrea fans. Like, I know Steve has
What do you mean we get a kick out
in a
of
good way. In a good way. I love the loyalty there. I think a lot of brands have loyalty, but I think like there's something unique about the people who really love Knock decks and Alex's decks, just because it is such a simple deck, but the people who appreciate it understand why it's a simple deck, and it just plays so differently than like people who follow a lot of the other brands.
Because I feel like he loves what he does. You know, he puts his all into it. It's not just oh, I'm dropping this, kind of like a merch drop, like, oh, just check out my cards. He's like going to the factory. He's making sure everything is, you know.
And you know what? One of the things I love about his brand is he keeps prices affordable.
Yes.
Where there's so many decks that come out and they're just so expensive. Although I'm going to be honest, even though I love you, Alex, this deck is not worth $20. Like it's not a $20 deck. Let's be honest. And that just shows you that I'm being honest, because I'm a huge fan of Alex, and I love the fact that he does keep his prices down low. You know, standard knocks are like $7-8. You know, and you just can't beat those prices.
Yeah. I think, you know, the reason why he does that is because they're so limited, but I don't know.
That's not limited. 3,000 is not limited.
Really?
No.
I mean, it is in the knock world, but not for Alex. That's not limited.
Yeah,
it's funny because most people print like 2,500 or 1,000. So the fact that that's 3,000 and limited is kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, it also goes to show, though, those larger brands obviously do bigger print runs because they have a much larger following. So limited is such a interesting term there, because really it just means you're not going to print them again in theory. And so you could have a limited run of 15,000, but
I think that
ECAT said it. She says hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, she was one of the first female magicians I ever saw. Like I was convinced that there was no female that did magic, and then I was like, okay, there's how many people in the world? And she was the first. Blown away by
we love ECAT. We had
amazing.
ECAT on the show. She's amazing, and there's not very many. There's definitely female magicians out there, but I don't think anybody's like ECAT. I think she's definitely a badass.
Next level, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And we're not just saying that because she's in the chat right now. But that's the cool thing about ECAT is she always stops in and checks the lives, and you know, she responds to people, and she's just integrated into the community, and that's just really cool.
Yeah, she reached out to me the other day, and I just was totally fangirling and in my mind, and I was like, wow, she actually responds to people. She
really does. She's a phenomenal member.
She does. And she just wrote, thanks to the show, she discovered Hebah through the show.
Oh.
ECAT, we're glad to accommodate that. Honestly, it's part of the reason we do the show, is getting a lot of new names out there. And like we said earlier, you know, Hebah, when we saw your content, we were like, we got to have her on the show. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. I'm glad we were able to do something for ECAT.
Yeah. Dude, who knows? That might be another good collab opportunity there. ECAT is a phenomenal content creator.
That's for sure. Yeah, her videos and images and her tutorials are just next level.
Absolutely. If you ever want to find someone to kind of mirror tutorials in the style of it, she does a phenomenal job. So
I'm definitely subscribed for sure.
Yeah, she's kind of cheats though, because she's good at it. That's like me. That's like me taking pictures. It's kind of cheating, you know. I can't compare myself to some of these others, you know. But yeah, she's her marketing. She's a marketing genius, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, when we've been in this industry, you know, consistently as much as she has, like, you figure it out, and it shows. It really does show, and her production value is next level as well. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, we got.
Listen, I'm here. We're here together. Let's do it.
I mean, that would definitely be a phenomenal collab, no doubt. So
that would be.
Yeah.
That would be.
So, Hebah, what made you decide? I know you, like you said, you know, you kind of stuck with COVID and went with TikTok. What made you decide TikTok over Instagram, over, you know, YouTube directly?
So, well, if I take it back, let's take it reverse. Let's take it back, real back to Vine. I had,
oh God.
Listen to this. I had a Vine where I posted edits. That's besides the point, but Vine died, and I'm so heartbroken by that. And everyone was switching over to Instagram, and I was like, okay, this is something that I have to learn because I didn't really know about Instagram too much. So I shifted everyone to Instagram, and then eventually I stopped making those videos. So that was just always in the back of my mind. Oh yeah, Hebah, you know how to transfer over your audience. Maybe you could do that with, you know, TikTok to Instagram. So that's what I ended up doing. I knew that I had a following on TikTok, but a lot of people that I knew too, like just like my family, my friends, they didn't really care for TikTok, and many people don't. They think TikTok is childish and stuff. But I knew that I needed to expand, and it was just like a no-brainer, like post stuff on TikTok, on Instagram, and I knew how to do it because of Vine. RFP Vine.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok is basically Vine, right? It's just a regeneration of it.
Yeah. I'm still trying to navigate it, just because all I'm doing really is posting my TikToks over to Instagram. I want to do more pictures, do more like, I don't have any pictures with me with a deck of cards. That's something that I need to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a couple things like that. But yeah, it's mostly just because, you know, people aren't really going to download TikTok for you. So I figured, why not, you know? It's
I mean, it's interesting though, too. You look at a lot of like that transferring between social media platforms. They say like the transfer rate ideally is something like 1%. So if you can get 1% of your following to go from one platform to another, that's success. And that's, to me, that blows my mind.
Yeah, it was hard at first. No one was even like, because I wasn't posting any hashtags or anything. I was just posting my stuff right over. And I had to promote, you know, on my TikTok, go to my Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, I'm balancing it all. I still don't know too much about it. I am learning as I go. That's definitely something that has been like really, really big for me. Learning as I go.
You have the perfect opportunity to pick Sean's brain when you see him, and
sure
pick up on that, and you'll.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I've never done anything like this. This is new to me. This is all so new to me, and I'm just excited to see where this is gonna go, because.
Just keep following it. Just keep following it. Do what you love, and you know, even. I mean, it's so. I think nowadays it's so easy to get your name out there, whether you want to do events, whether you want to do, you know, certain things like that. You know, back before the internet, social media was what it is now, is, you know, when you wanted to become a photographer, you kind of assisted other photographers, you know, so you can go work the floor. I mean, you live in New York, you know, you can check out tannins, you can check, you know, there's places where you can go. You could just tag along with other magicians just to see how they work a room. You know, that way you're kind of just learning, and then that's how you get your name out there. You know?
I've been to tannins before this all happened. Like a couple years ago, I like bought it. It was so random too. It was no one in the store. It was just Magic Ballet. I don't know if he still works there, but he was like, "Oh, do you do magic?" And I took the deck of cards and I did an anaconda, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And he was just so cool about it. And yeah, that's my experience with there. I haven't really like met anyone face to face, like a magician. I haven't seen any magicians perform besides, you know, when I was younger.
Right.
I saw like someone came to the local library by my school, and
Nice.
I was like freshman in high school, and I had to wait for my soccer practice to start, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I was like, let me go to the library, let me sit here for a couple, you know, an hour or whatever. And there was this magician one time, and I just remember like I've sat in the front row, and I was like it was the most interesting thing ever. And he probably didn't even think anything of it, but I was like telling him, I was like, I want to be a magician when I grow up. And he was like, yeah, do you magic. No, like I want to do this. I know exactly what you're doing. That's a thumb tip. I know it. And he's like, I wanted to do it so bad. It was just, I loved it. And I didn't think it was possible. Like, I really did not think this was something that I was going to do. I thought I was going to either play soccer for the rest of my life, or like I did my bachelor's in film. So I was like, I'm going to be a big director. I just knew I wanted to do something with my life, but I had no idea magic was going to be it. So
that's awesome, though.
Now you could do some film based on your magic. That, you know, that's what ECAT does. ECAT takes her talents and kind of melts them together and creates some really cool stuff. That would be a next level and something that a lot of people aren't doing on TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny too, because I think we've said in the past and in past episodes, it always feels like people who are really big into magic or really big into cards in some form have this like also fascination with film or photography. You know, like I mean, think about like Sean O, who I mean, he's huge in cardistry. He's also I'm like literally blanking on the word. Videographer. There we go. Jeez, I was like filmographer. I'm like, that's not it.
I mean, technically you could say filmographer, right?
It sounds ridiculous though. So videographer.
I mean, it does, but you can still say it.
But again, Cam Toner is a photographer as well. Like, there's so many people who are in this and also either started out in videography or photography and got into magic, or vice versa, started out in magic and realized they wanted to show it off in a way that was really high quality and got into videography and video editing or photography and photo editing, which I think is so cool that the two hobbies go so hand in hand.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to Tyler. So I think there are very few really good photographers and really good videographers in the community. And I think we really see who those really good videographers and photographers are in our community. I think a lot of people do do pretty good video, but I think I think there is definitely a difference in great videographers and great photographers compared to just people who are, because most people who see the videos might think it's a great video. But you ask a videographer if it's a great video, totally different story.
So this is
same thing with images.
This is also where I'll disagree with Steve, because then we've had this discussion in the past about the fact that if the audience loves it, but the photographer doesn't, who's in the wrong? Like, who are you playing to? Like, photographers do take pictures for other to appeal to other photographers. But I think in a lot of cases with this kind of stuff, you're really trying to appeal to a much larger audience. And so while things may not be perfect, if you like it and the audience likes it, you did something right. That's my take on it. So
let's be honest, your stuff doesn't have to be good for your audience to like it.
That is also very true. That is also very true.
You know, it's you can see it every day with pictures that people like, and a lot of them are just, you know, they are what they are. People will like it if it's good or not, you know. But like Tyler said, I think when you have people who know what they're looking at, you know, they're the ones that, you know, you can tell the difference.
I have like a thought. It all stems, like, because you said magicians, they're always either a photographer or a videographer, like you said. It all stems back to storytelling, you know?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Control that story, you know, whatever like the answer is. You want to like make people go into your world. So I definitely understand why those two definitely correlate. And
I think that's a really good point there. That connection between the storytelling and the medium which you use.
Yeah. just happens
Well,
magic.
Well, and I think in this day and age too, there's such an emphasis on video and photo in general across all social media. There's probably a lot more people now who are interested in photography and interested in videography versus 10 years ago. You know, there's such a heavier focus on it. So
also 10 years ago, I feel like it seemed like such a big step. You know, get a camera or like, you know, work for a production company or something. Now you can just get a camera and start a YouTube and learn as you go. And
I mean, so many people started with their cell phones now. And like, yeah, you figure 10 years ago, the iPhone was just coming out. So it wasn't even necessarily a widely available thing. So yeah, the ease of access to technology to allow people to get more into it is phenomenal. So
I remember like 10 years ago, not even, it was like 7, 8 years ago, I was watching this family on YouTube. This has nothing to do with magic. I'm just saying it. But,
hey, we're not all about magic here. We could talk about anything.
Yeah, this show is just about life in general. So
we could talk about Tyler's beard oil if you want.
No, please don't.
I was watching this family. They're called the Shaytards. They're done with vlogging and everything, but they started off with like those little I forgot what they're called.
Like GoPros?
The flip cameras, flip. I don't know what they're called, but it's attached to like a USB and then it's a camera. And they started off just like that, you know, and they started their whole channel off something so small, but their story was so important. And yeah, I just remember watching them a lot growing up and wondering, you know, I want to be able to tell stories someday too. Never, you know, thought I could do it.
So it genuinely seems though like you've always had this desire to be a content creator in one form or another. You just kind of landed that.
Yeah. I really, 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 really wanted to put out my own stuff. And I did have a YouTube channel when I was really young, but my parents told me to delete that. It was like the Ice Cream 98. I hope no one looks this up. I deleted all the videos. You'd never be able to find it. But I would post these tutorials. Like I would learn something and then post a tutorial, which is not the best thing to do just because you want to get good at it before you do. And I cut out my face because my mom didn't want my face in it. I like put the YouTube annotations and that one YouTube song that everyone used back in the day. I think it's called like Dreamscape. It was just everyone used that. And yeah, that was like the beginning of it all.
That's awesome.
And I remember putting on like a button up and then having like my pajama shorts. And I was like, no one can see this. They can never see my professionalness. And, yeah, man, I've always wanted to put out stuff. It was always been like in my blood. I want to put out content. I want people to, you know, to learn from it. And now I'm on TikTok. It just happens.
Yeah, no, I have a question to that now. And it's something we actually, you know, talked about with ECAT, and we kind of talk about it with several magicians when they come on the show is what's your take on, I think there's polarizing opinions. What's your take on teaching magic or doing tutorials or showing how tricks are done, or like what's your take on that? I know it's kind of a controversial topic in the magic community.
For sure. I get like a lot of hate comments just from, you know, the community, just don't put out. And I'm completely, I understand. I just think what I put out, anyone could look it up anywhere, you know? It's just, you know, how do I phrase this? I think it's totally fine that I put out tutorials because that's how we get more people to start magic, you know? They're not gonna be able to find it if it's in a book or if it's in someone's DVD. You know, you have to put it out to the public. That's how I started. You know, I started from Andre Drake. If he didn't put out that tutorial for the single card vanish, I wouldn't have learned it. If he kept that a secret, I wouldn't have learned it. So I think it's a matter of, I don't know. Also, like what I put out, like that was a stroke. Anyway, sorry. The tutorials I put out are very simple, you know? It's not like this most secret thing that, you know, people feel like, oh, I can't. it's like simple, like how to levitate a card. You just kind of do one of these things and you bring it out and you just do that, right? And I show it's just that's how it is. And it's not that serious. I don't think it is,
Right. It's more, and I mean, there's definitely people that have something to say about that. I totally agree. I wouldn't be here in this community talking to you and be friends with Tyler for that matter. If it wasn't for a tutorial that Chris Ramsay put up.
Yes.
And I think what it does is it allows people who are interested, because the people who follow you are interested in they want to watch what you do.
Mm-hmm.
That you a huge percentage of them are just like, oh, that's cool, and they'll watch it, and that's it. And then you have the people who want to see how it's done, and cool, they might learn 5 things, easy things like the levitation or whatever. They might be like, oh, cool, I know how to do that now. So it's like it's not like you're teaching them how to do someone else's move, something that people pay for, something like that. There are definitely things that people can just go search, and it's bringing more people in the community. It's helping the community grow, and obviously that's just my position on it. It's definitely, I understand the other side, but again, we live in a world that's different than what it used to be, and people aren't going to read a magic book these days.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hard to find though, too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I was having a discussion with someone about that the other day. Like, magic books are usually printed in limited runs. If you don't get them when they first come out, they're impossible to find. And if you do find them, you're paying 5x the price. What was originally a $20, $30, $50 book is now $250. And it's prohibitive. It puts up a barrier to entry for people who, A, may not have the funds or the means to do that, or B, just want to genuinely learn magic and don't have the resources easily accessible.
And video is the best way to do that. So.
I mean, that's why people switched to VHS and DVD from books, is because they knew video was the best way. And now DVD, thankfully, has been replaced by the internet, and there's streams that you can download and everything. But yeah, it's something else.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like, I don't have a copy of the Expert at the Card Table, but I've heard that it's impossible to read. It's really, really difficult.
Never read it yet, but I've heard of it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously trying to understand those figures, people can do it. Obviously, I haven't seen it. I'm sure I could figure it out because people figure it out. But just in our time that we live in nowadays, people just they don't want to take the time and read a book. They want to learn it yesterday. They just want to see it. Some people are interested, some people aren't. And, the ones that are going to look it up on how to do something are the ones that are interested in magic to learn more. They're intrigued. They want to grow, or, whatever it is. Like Max, he just said, he wouldn't have started his channel if it wasn't for Chris Ramsay,
Oh, Max Diamond. What's up, Max? I know him.
So I think one of the interesting things along those lines as well is the fact that I completely lost my train of thought, but that's fine. So I think, like you said, with the accessibility and everything, if it wasn't for that video, we wouldn't learn it. I think part of the other thing with that is you have a lot more ability now on the magician side to get this content out there. And I think, like you said, if it wasn't you teaching these things, there's tons of people trying to teach this stuff out there. Not everyone's doing it in a way that's easily learnable. So are you doing a disservice? Are they doing a disservice to the community by not properly teaching? And are you really just correcting an issue that you see there,
I don't think I'm correcting it. I think I'm doing it in a more efficient way. People are going to come to me. Like, people that are going to come to me are already, like, they stepped their foot into magic. So I don't think that, it's like, I wish I knew what I was going to say after this. I'm like,
it happens. Well, and I think a lot of the people who talk about it being exposure versus teaching is really the people who are looking at magic for exposure purposes, who want to go out there and find out how something is done not because they want to do it or love magic, but because they're that type of person, they're going to dig until they find the answer.
Yes.
Right.
And in this day and age, what is that, 5 minutes on Google? Like, it's not going to take them years to figure this out. You're not preventing some all-knowing mystery from being revealed. I think a lot of it too, and I think where exposure does become a big question these days is when there's exposure of things that are recent that still monetize. And I think that's always the fine line to walk there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think, people genuinely get concerned when it's along those lines, but at the same time, like, it's also tough to say, okay, if there's 100-year-old secret, are you really, like, is it really a secret at this point? Like,
No.
yeah.
You can literally go on YouTube and find 5 videos of everything. And what I think is, there are people that create a trick, a sleight, or whatever it may be. They create it. They put the video out. I think one of the things that not everybody does that they should do is that it's kind of like paying homage to the person who created it. If someone's gonna do a tutorial of someone else's trick that they created and they're around, you could reach out to them and be like, is it okay if I teach this tutorial? I'll link your video, because you don't want to direct somebody away from the creator, the person that came up with the sleight or whatever it is. So I think one of the good examples is Chandler Henry from Rise Magic. And he was teaching the Riffle fan, and he basically pointed everybody to Dimitri's video. Go watch this first. This is in no way a tutorial that's better than his. It's just a way that I learned how to do it because I couldn't do it his way. So it was kind of just his way of troubleshooting and doing it a little different, but he messaged him and said, is it okay if I do this tutorial? And I think that just shows that you care about the person who created it. There's going to be some that you can't do that with, people, you don't know who created it, or they're dead. Or, there's so many tricks that have been around, you know what I mean? And I think if you just pay respect to the person that did it, like you say, Andre Jeek is the one who, taught me that. And I think that's huge.
I did have a video where I kind of showed my progress with the bullet. I don't know if it's like this move right here. Still.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I was showing hour by hour me learning that trick, and of course I told everyone, go watch Andre's tutorial first, because I know I know that it's much better if you learn from him, because he's the one who created it and everything. So yeah, as long as you you credit the person and make sure you let your audience know the whole story, kind of like, this is how I learned. There's so many other ways. This is original. Go learn that first, and then come to me. I think it's just a way of directing people. Like, if people learn it, they're gonna go click on that video. So
absolutely.
It's
like ECAT just said.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and I think 100% dead on. Like, as long as it's done properly, it is the new way to learn. I mean, everything is moving to remote learning of one form or another. You look at schools now, half of the schools in the US are home, half are in the actual location. Like, if we are teaching our kids how to be adults via remote, video, why wouldn't you learn magic that way? Why wouldn't you learn anything that way? As long as, again, you give the proper credit. And I think the other aspect of it too is, like you said, there's so many tutorials out there for a lot of stuff. One thing about it though is so many people learn different ways. And so, prime example with Steve's example there, which with Rise Magic, he couldn't figure it out the one way. He had to do it his own way, because we all ingest content and information differently. Like, you're just taking something that you learned and repurposing it to teach how you think other people may be able to learn it better. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think what it comes down to is that in any community, people like to have their thing. It's ours, and the minute you're giving something of ours away, then it's not right, you know, but we don't fucking own any of it, right? It's not ours. It was given to us, and the way it was given to us, or me at least, and you and Tyler, it's through fucking YouTube. You know, and that's how things are done now.
Absolutely.
You know, literally, you can go on YouTube and find out how to change a head gasket in your damn car. You can go on YouTube and find out how to change anything. You know, you can build a deck. You can, you know, literally anything. I mean, hell, you can type in Deckin around and you can find a ton of deck stuff on YouTube. Right, Tyler?
Yes, we've done a good job.
How long did it take us to take over that name?
It took a while. It took a while before when you type in Deckin around, it doesn't give you instructions to build a deck. So looking back now, if we had come up with a different name, I probably would have looked for something that didn't have a saturated other meaning. But we conquered.
Yeah,
man, we conquered. It's worked out well. I'm still, the next battle is waiting for YouTube to stop trying to autocorrect it from decking around to decking around. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
That's funny.
But yeah. I think, go ahead, Steve.
No, I think, you know, what Ekat said. It's you know, she had to go through it. And I think it's interesting because do you feel that you get treated differently at all for being a female magician? Or, I mean, of course you get like douchebag bros that message you stupid things, I'm sure, but do you feel that other people in the community treat you differently because you're female? Or
I guess I never really thought about it, but
that's good. I mean, if you haven't thought about it, I guess no then, right?
I think it makes me stand out for sure. So when people do reach out to me, I think I take it as like, I don't know. I try to see like the good intentions of people. There are people that, you know, go out and reach out to me, just collab or whatever, you know, but because I'm a female and that's the reason why I'm special. But I don't know. I haven't formed an opinion about that. I don't think anyone treats me, you know, any differently.
No, that's good. That's good.
Who knows what's true.
I mean, and I think at the end of the day, you know, Dawn mentioned this earlier, and I think Steve and I have said this a ton. Once you start getting haters, you know you're actually making an impact. I think you're actually doing something worth noticing. And if people are riled up enough to comment, you have, again, the opposite end on the other side. There are people who are just as riled up to defend you and love what you're doing. And I think that's one of the great things about, you know, social media and the internet these days is you always got to take it that way. Like, you know, some jerk, you know, and it can ruin a day. It literally can. Some jerk comes into your comments and makes, you know, a rude comment or a hateful comment. And it sucks. Like, I think as people, we all get hit with that. But then kind of trying to spin it is where that key is, you know?
Yeah.
And as you grow, there will be more, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it is there's, you know, your fans will come to your rescue. You know, that's the cool thing. There's certain people that will post stuff, and, you know, they might delete a bad comment or whatever. I think it's cool when you see, like, I have a friend who's a musician and he's kind of big, and there's some people that just leave comments that are so rude. First of all, it's always amazing. It's like, how do you even know what this person, do you follow this person literally to troll them? But they'll just say horrible comments and their fans will tear up those people.
I gotta say, we've actually had some bangers in this audience here, by the way. We got another chime in there from Lee Asher, which is 100% true. You should have an equal amount of haters and lovers. Look at that.
I'm gonna be a hater right now, Lee. Lee, it's yin yang. There's no G in yin. Come on, Lee. Get it right.
But that being said,
do you know who Lee is?
Lee,
Lee Asher.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Lee is a phenomenal card magician and just magician all around. He's also
he's a legend.
He's a legend. Yes,
a legend.
So you check out Lee on Instagram for sure. You will see his stuff. Lee is an absolute amazing card handler, and he's also the president of 52 Plus Joker, which is the largest playing card club, collecting community. Yeah, I guess it's a club. Yeah, in the world. So
he's just a wealth of knowledge.
he's also an amazing dude. Yeah.
He loves cards. He loves the community. He does so much for the community, and
he loves Magic.
And he loves Magic. And just the fact that he's in here hanging out is awesome. We have some amazing people. Huh?
Yeah.
Look at all these people that are in here. Caitlin, Paul. The cool thing is just seeing all the people that you're bringing in that we don't know. Whether it's Brad or King Sully or just people that are who I don't know. Just seeing new people in there is really cool.
Yeah. And I promoted this on my Instagram and TikTok. Well, Instagram and like the Instagram stories and everything, and people were just pouring in like, "I'm gonna be there," blah blah blah. And it was just made me so happy. Like people are actually, they're caring about what I have to say.
Yeah,
we're genuinely honored that you decided to come on Deckin Around as your first live experience too, because I think people were psyched about it. People were like, "Yes, the first live." So it's always fun to see, and I think it's interesting to see. I mean, we've had people who, again, we've had ECAT and Lee on the show. We've had, people who are newer to the community. It's always interesting to see that similar mindset behind people who have been in this industry for decades versus people who have been in this, for months in theory in the, the now realm of TikTok that you're in now. I think there's always that like similar creative mindset behind it and that drive to just share what you love. And I think that's so encouraging.
Yeah, there's this quote by Jim Carrey.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's such a good actor. Just everything about it. I was watching his graduation speech one day. And
oh yeah.
Along the line, he said, "You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love."
Yeah, that's so true.
I've been like keeping that in the back of my mind. Like, people, you could be in college again, just doing something that you're not like. I was passionate about film, but to be honest, I didn't see myself doing it for the rest of my life. I didn't see myself like going into TV or like being in a production company. I always just knew that I wanted to share out videos. And
Hebah, you're doing film right now. You do it. You're doing film. You're just altering it. You're doing it differently.
Short form film.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is you have that I guess that education around film if you wanted to take it even further and create. What would be really dope? I think the best collaboration, literally the best collaboration, would be you, ECAT, all these people, these female magicians getting together, talking about magic, the history of magic in female, with female magicians, and doing a special for Netflix. I think it would crush. I think it will be so dope. You and ECAT are both amazing. I haven't seen your stuff, but you're a film major, so I assume your stuff is great. ECAT does amazing stuff, and I think there's nothing like that on Netflix. And right now, I think it would be bomb. You have people that are coming up. You have Casey Lim, who's fucking crushing it.
Wow.
There's so many people that would be totally down. Would do, it would be rad. ECAT, get on it. Do we get anything for this finder's fee?
We'll take an EP credit. How's that?
Caitlin, you're gonna be in it.
Yeah,
Caitlin, we'll be the production company.
Oh, wow.
So Caitlin had a good question there too. I think do you find that Magicking Cards helped you with stress or anxiety or anything?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm sure like a lot of you guys during the quarantine was so uncertain what the future of the world was going to be like, and I was still going to school. There was a lot of things happening that I was very anxious about. I had a TikTok. My parents didn't really want me wasting my time on it. Now they're supportive. They're so supportive with that.
Now they're like, can we get on your TikTok with you?
My parents are great, but it was uncertain times, and I used this thing right here, this card deck, not this exact one, but you know what I mean, like to really take my mind off things. And anytime I was anxious, grab a deck of cards and go learn something. And then that learning and achieving, you know, like cardistry in general, just this is what I'm learning right now. Getting smooth and at something that you learned not too long ago, and then moving on. I don't know, that it gives you a sense of like accomplishment that it helped me out with stress. I don't know, it can be anything.
Yeah.
A lot of people have their own things, but cardistry and performing as well. Performing on Omegle was definitely something that I didn't expect was going to give me so much like positivity, just because, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to just do this for random people.
Right.
But seeing their reaction was everything, you know, it made everything worth it. So I'm glad that I have a way to handle things.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think, you know, that's huge. Caitlin's a big voice in the community with mental health and, you know, cardistry or magic or whatever it may be. And I think it's something that our community definitely doesn't talk enough about, you know.
So hold on real quick there, just because I feel like this is a perfect one for you.
Oh my God. I love that.
I saw this, I'm like, I hope that's Hebah's mom.
That's my mom.
That is amazing.
Well,
Mom, thank you for stopping in. We're so excited. Your daughter's amazing. And
she's crushing it.
The fact that you're in the chat is amazing. It reminds me of my mom.
Hebah, send me the link. Send me the link.
There you go. No, that is amazing. I think,
That's
you know,
so
it's awesome to see that level of support.
Especially like, just because it was so, when I told her I wanted to do magic, it sounded so like out of the blue. Like, you know, I was about to graduate college. Mom, I want to post videos of me doing magic on Instagram. And I don't want to. She was very supportive, but I'm sure she thought I was crazy at one point. So, shout out to my mom. She's really, really, really supportive.
So I'm going to call her mom because she's mom now. So, hey, Mom, while we have you in the chat room here, do you have any dirt on Hebah that you can tell us?
I mean, I have to say, I think any of the embarrassing, like, magic-related dirt, Hebah's already exposed with the whole, like...
No, we want to know, like, funny stuff. Like, I don't know, like, maybe she put M&Ms up her nose or something. I want to know some funny stuff. Like, hook us up, Mom.
She's definitely seen, when I do, like, practice a magic trick, she's definitely seen me mess up so many times. And she's, like, she gives really good criticism. Like, Hebah, if I was watching you right now, I would, you know, and I go and I adjust myself, and I'm like, okay, and I really like, I value her opinion. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Moms. Oh, come on. She was always a good girl. That's a lie. No, moms know the best. And it's funny. They're not, you know, they just get it. They know. And we don't see it until we're old enough to understand, you know. when we're younger, we're like, ugh. Then when we get older, we're like, man, why didn't I listen to my mom? You know.
She was telling me that yesterday.
That's always how it is. She was always tough on you. That's good. Tough on, you know, tough is good. Helicopter is not, but you know, tough is good because she's, you know, clearly a hard worker and crushing it. She's TikToking it.
I mean, have you got your mom set up with her own TikTok yet?
No, not yet. Although she does want, like, she goes on my live stream sometimes on TikTok, and people love her. She's very charismatic and also really loves soccer. So anytime someone like mentions anything about soccer, she's like, "Oh, did you know I am a big Man City fan?" And she'll just go on. And yeah,
that's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, she loves like YouTube and everything. She's very aware of like YouTubers, and yeah, she's very good with that.
Nice, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you go on when you go on Omegle? Do you tell your TikTok fans that you're going on there?
No, it's very.
You gotta do that.
Yeah, I should.
You gotta. That way they'll just keep clicking through, hoping to get you.
Yeah, but I feel like you might also subject them to a lot of things they don't want to see in search of magic.
Oh, whatever. We're all adults in here. Come on.
I mean, TikTok is not all adults.
No. I'm saying in here, but look, you're learning fast reflexes to hit the next button, so it's okay. You know, you gotta be aware. You gotta be aware of the grossness out there, so you can prepare yourself for it.
Caitlin actually had a really good idea. Set your mom up with a TikTok and have her react to your TikToks and post them.
Gosh,
that would be like
brilliant.
That would be awesome to see your mom like duet your TikToks.
That would be awesome.
Yes, very good idea. Thank you, Caitlin. I was like, what did if I do have my mom make a TikTok, what would she do? But that would be like a perfect thing, just because I'm sure people would love to see her reaction on things.
She could react to magic and then react to soccer games. It would be a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
For sure. She's in love with soccer. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah, she just said she loves soccer so much.
So you mentioned that you had kind of, obviously, you know, you had a lot of inspirations, Alex Pandrea, Chris Ramsay, David Blaine. What was really the first thing that got you excited about magic?
Well, I hate to say this again, but David Blaine's Street Magic specials, that's what instantly seeing those people's reactions, that I love the fan. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
This is like the perfect giant fan deck because it's literally so used and disgusting.
Like grimy.
It sticks together. It's perfect. Sorry, go ahead.
He gets reactions out of people that I haven't seen any people do, especially when I was a kid. Like I only saw magic on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to have that power to have people react like that. And I was like so shy growing up. I was so shy. Like I wouldn't even look at people in the eye. It was like very bad. But I learned through life, you know, I had to go through college and all that. I gained confidence. And then I had the ability to take what was in my mind and bring it out to the world, just because if I started at 9 years old, I don't think I would have, you know, blown up. I probably would have gotten discouraged, to be honest.
Yeah. Totally different world, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was just still a young kid. Like I didn't know anything, and I still don't know that much. I'm 22 now, so yeah.
Hebah, I'm 45 and I don't know much.
Yeah,
it's a never-ending journey. You know, we find out new things, we join new communities, and we're learning all this stuff all over again. You know, I mean, obviously we know the stuff we learned from our parents and what they taught us, and that's what we bring into whatever else we dive into. But for the most part, like we're learning every day, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, in this day and age too, it's funny because everything's changing every day as well. Things are always evolving. Things are always coming out new. I mean, if you had told someone that there would be something like TikTok 10 years ago, they would have thought you were crazy. And now people were still just getting comfortable with YouTube really at the time. And now everyone watches YouTube every day for something. I mean, it's just how it is, you know?
Dude, can you put up that question from Caitlin? She's crushing it. We actually talked about this in our pre-show. It'd be good to talk about.
So growing up, you were shy and magic. Oh man, very good question, Caitlin.
She's crushing it. Caitlin's crushing it.
Like very important questions as well.
Do you know Caitlin?
Small hand things.
You have to connect with Caitlin.
She's awesome. Yeah.
Connect with Caitlin on Instagram. You guys, like, seriously, she's amazing.
And for anyone watching, Caitlin was on Deckin around like 3 or 4 episodes, so go check out that episode also.
It was just 3 or 4, wasn't it? Like 6 or 7.
Might have been 6 ago. I don't know. Time doesn't move normal during COVID. So
Tyler, you're the math guy, the numbers guy. You should know exactly who was on what episode. Come on. I'm just kidding. You shouldn't know that. Anyway, go ahead.
Question at hand.
Yeah. Answer your question. I was very shy growing up, and I think magic is what brought it out of me. You know, in college, I think college did it for me, because I went to to college that was pretty far away from my home. You know, I didn't know anyone. It was just like very new to me. So I think that's what initially broke my shyness. But then having magic was like the exclamation point of now you have something to offer. Like you're confident, but now you have, you know, this thing that you're very, very passionate about. Go show it to the world. So I think it definitely brought me out of my shell. But yeah.
I mean, to perform, you have to kind of be outgoing, right?
Have to get out
to
of
be
your
a good
comfort zone.
performer, at least. But I guess if you're not outgoing, you can be a quiet magician, kind of like Teller, right? You don't even have to talk.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's definitely not the majority. I think to be a good magician / entertainer, you really have to be, outgoing, whether it's your full personality or just your performing personality.
I mean, absolutely. I think, that's how a lot of people get into it, though. That idea that with magic, you want to be I don't want to say something you're not, but you want the ability to present a different face in a sense, you want to overcome the adversities. I mean, it's interesting to see how that all plays out. I mean, I know a lot of people who you would never think were magicians and love it because it brings them out of their shell.
Yeah. And, that's really good example. Just like when my mom used to work at Sony, and there was this security guards that, because I would always go and perform magic for her coworkers, but there's these security guards that they seemed very, very tough, and they weren't smiling, standing there, and I was doing magic for other people in the corner, and one of the guys came up to me and was like, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" And I was nervous. I was like, "Oh my god, probably think it's so weird." But then I had to switch that, and I was like, you know what? They want to see something.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and I was performing for them, and they loved it, and they weren't tough at all by the end of it. They were just their inner child came out. That's what I love about magic too. You can be anyone. You could be the president of the United States. You could be some random person, and you always get that inner child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You break down the walls. You're there with people, and you're just astonished, and I don't think there's anything else that does that. No other. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's very, obviously there's things that touch people automatically. Music, I think, does it. And I think magic is huge. When people, especially, one of the people I love to see witness magic is Tyler. He kind of reminds me of someone who hasn't seen magic before ever. Even if he knows how it's done, he's still.
I do try and hold on to my childish wonder all the time. Yeah, I love it.
He's in awe, and I think that's great, and that's magic. And actually, since we're talking about magic, and you do magic, will you show us a couple things?
Great, Spike. I love that segue that you did.
You like that? I'm the master of segues.
Yeah.
Not the standing ones that you drive, because I'd probably eat shit if I got on one of those.
Yeah. No, I never do. So, thinking of what to do. I think I'm gonna go with the knock deck, just to give a quick shout out to Alex. Nice. I will,
because he hasn't had enough during this show.
I feel like we've given a lot of shout outs during this show.
Yeah, I think this is the Alex Pandrea show. This is the tribute to Alex show.
Yeah.
What do you say, Ty? You think?
I'd say so, sure.
Of course, all the cards fall right now.
Well, you just made them disappear.
Yeah, exactly. All the cards just fell. We're good.
Can you show us a tutorial on that trick that you just did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have these deck of cards here. We're just gonna get straight into it. I will. I'm gonna shuffle through the deck. Can you just say stop whenever you want, Tyler?
All you, buddy. All you, buddy.
All right, I got this.
Yeah. Whenever you want to. Okay. Yeah, up to you.
Stop.
You can keep.
No, you're good right there.
You can keep going if you want.
No, I'm good with that one.
Okay, You remember it, guys, and everyone in the chat as well. I will look away. You guys see it there?
Yep.
Yep.
And I promise we did not set anything up beforehand. This is like literally impromptu, and I wasn't really sure what to do before this, but now I'm improvising. So what I want you to do, and everyone here, I just want you guys to just try to connect with me really quick. I don't know what the card is, and I want you guys just to think it in your mind. That's all I gotta do. Just think of that card as if you're looking at it in front of your face. And I'm gonna just try to pick up. Steve is looking on the side.
I'm looking at the chat. That's why I'm keeping an eye on our people.
Yeah. So this is kind of challenging. I don't even know. I'm just gonna take out random cards. Okay. Yeah. Tyler, can you say red and black for me really quick? Red and black.
Red and black.
Red and black. Okay. Yeah. That's good.
Tyler's already shitting his pants.
I'm like, yes, let's do this.
Taking this super slow. I won't even. I already know what it is. You guys are doing really bad. Okay. No, look. How many cards do we have? I took out five cards here. Let me put this down just so you guys can see.
Nice.
What I want you to do now, Tyler and Steve, don't say anything out loud. I want you just to answer in your mind, yes or no. Is this your card? I'll just keep going. Is this your card? Is this your card? And answer in your mind, okay? Poker face. This is the time to not show me any emotion, okay? It could be the Ace of Hearts, right? It could be the Queen of Hearts, all right? Ten of Spades. It could be the Eight of... I don't even know, to be honest. It could be the Seven. But you know what it is. So okay. All right. You gave me a little bit of a hint. How many cards? We have 1, 2, 3. We have 5 cards here. Tyler, do you mind just follow along with me? Can you do this with your hands for me? Yeah, do this with your hands.
If this card appears in my hands, I'm out of here.
Dude, if that card appears in your hands, I'm leaving. I'm stopping this show right now.
No, but look, as you guys are talking, I'm just distracting you. You know why? Because look, if I squeeze, Tyler, squeeze.
He's not that strong, Hebah. He's not that strong.
Because I'm strong enough. That's why. Because you think that there was 5 cards. No, there was only 4 cards here from the beginning. And you tell me if you see your card. You tell me, okay? Because we have these 4 cards here, and you know what your card, like, it's gone, to be honest. And there was no way I could have known because you had it in your mind. You didn't even say it out loud. But I also had this card deck that was here the whole time. And I'll just show you, which is absolutely crazy. There's actually one card if you swipe through it. There's one card flipped upside down.
All right.
Obviously, this is a magic trick, so why not? Let's just turn into the Aces done.
Nice.
Behind my hand too. I love it. It's gone. It's gone.
Nice.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
That was dope.
I genuinely do love magic. I just feel like a kid whenever I see it. So that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a little challenging to do it through a screen. Although I do Omegle and all that. Doing it live and when I'm nervous is a different story. But it takes practice, which I love. I don't mind getting uncomfortable and putting myself through that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was talking. I think we were talking about it, and one of the things that I was really impressed with is just your confidence. Right? I think it's really a great stage presence. I think it's awesome. One of my favorite videos, and I only watch you on Instagram, so I don't see all the TikTok stuff. But one of my favorite things that you did was, you were doing your vanish, and what does Andre call that? Does he call it like the Jeek vanish? No, I'm just kidding.
No, call it like single card vanish. I don't even.
Yeah. Yeah, but you were doing it and everything, and someone asked you to do it. Yeah, but can you do it blindfolded? someone was totally trolling her. And then she just grabbed the blindfold, put it on, and she's like, and did it. And I'm like, it's just the confidence that is great, but you do it in a fun way rather than an egotistical way, and I think that's awesome. I think it's very rare to see that nowadays. I think a lot of people are doing it for a different reason, so it's good to see that.
And I definitely understand what you're talking about, like ego. I see it in a couple of magicians. They just you can feel that. You feel when they're so, up in the air, and it's like there's no connection there. Make it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's cool. There's definitely select few people that I see when they are doing magic that they look like they're enjoying it rather than performing it. And I think there's a big difference. Just doing a job or trying to get a certain reaction or something like that. But when you're doing it because you love doing it, it shows.
Yeah.
Caitlin wants me to download TikTok.
Oh.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Steve would be miserable if he downloaded TikTok.
Can't he?
Yeah.
Dang, Justine Coe is here. You are bringing out all the amazingness in the community.
Justine Coe. Guys, thank you for even coming. That's wild.
Yeah. Justine's a legend too.
One of the questions we did have too that came in from Brad earlier was, who's your favorite magician for kids, teens, and adults? So I think that's a valid question though, because I feel like there's such a different. Listen.
I'll be right back. I have to get a towel.
Steve, would you ever send Dan Sperry to a kids party? I think there's different types of magicians out there for sure. Do you have any specific ones that you enjoy across those different kind of, age ranges?
Well, as far as kids, I really enjoy David Williamson. He is just, I love his comedy that he adds to his performances, and he just he makes it very. He acts. I don't know. He has a little puppet and everything. I watched a ton of his stuff, but he makes it very simple for everyone.
Okay.
Someone else that I think this is kind of a hard question to answer. Jonathan, I believe his name is Jonathan. I'm going to say M because I don't want to butcher his name. But wears a purple suit. He's very he has a little beard. He does kids magic shows and everything. And the way he talks to kids is just very sweet and I don't see myself performing in that way.
Okay.
Just so I think he's one of the people that kids would love. But as far as adults, teens, I don't even know where what's the difference? I feel like all magicians suit everyone.
I heard what you said, Tyler, and I wouldn't have Sperry go to a kid show.
Listen, I love Dan Sperry stuff, but I
sure.
can't imagine him and 5-year-olds would get along great. So
it depends who the 5-year-olds are, but I'd be scared if there's some 5-year-olds that will dig that show,
Yeah.
But I'd dig it. I'd love to see it, that's for sure.
So I guess one question I still had here too is what's your vision for what's next? I think there's so much that's come up so quickly, and obviously you mentioned the collabs you have coming up, but where do you see yourself wanting to take this in the foreseeable future?
Well, something that I've always seen for myself is I want to travel. I want to travel the world, and I want to perform.
Yes.
Whether that's I've never performed on a stage, but that's something I do want to do.
That would be cool.
And I just really, I just want to inspire other females, because it's just there's very select, there's not that many females out here. And I want to travel the world and go to places that haven't really seen magic and them. And I want to take it, I want to build my business as well, as not just performing. I want to maybe sell some playing cards.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I think, was it Adam Trent? Did you see the Adam Trent special on Netflix? What was that called? Does anybody know what that's called? Adam Trent? You on that, Ty?
I am.
I saw your screen color change, so I figured you were on it. So I think his name's Adam Trent, and he had
a road
Netflix,
trick.
Yeah, super cool guy. Really, really rad dude. Look that up when you get a chance. But he went to, I want to say, I don't remember if it was Puerto Rico or he went somewhere where magic is like a no-no. You know, they look at it as black magic and very bad, and he's trying to bring smiles to people's faces all over the world. And the whole basis of the show is for him to give magic and see what he could get giving people magic. So basically, he would perform on a yacht if he could. You know, if the yacht was right where what you call it, like NASCAR is. You know, so he would perform for the guests on this amazing yacht that had front row seats to this. So he basically was bartering, you know, but you know, he went to one, I don't remember what the country was. But yeah, he was performing magic and they were like super upset with him because they look at that as black magic. So some of these cultures you got to be careful with who you perform magic for.
Even
That's crazy.
My culture, like I'm mixed. My mom's Moroccan and my dad's from Pakistan. And even my own grandma, she's like, she says it as a joke, but she's like, "Here, but stop doing this black magic."
Which, by the way, I also love your videos with your grandma.
You could say Gram. You could say Gram. Now what do you call her? What do you call her?
So I call my grandma Mwema. So it's like
Moima?
Mwema. Yeah.
Moima. Okay. So you could say Moima. It's in our heritage. Like I got it from you. You know, it was passed on from you to mom to me, and that's just how we are. We're all witches. You know. Now, I mean, in Pakistan, didn't like a lot of wasn't like old traditions? Didn't they do magic a lot in Pakistan? I know they did in India. Was big into magic like from long ago, and I heard wasn't Pakistan the same way? I don't know. I'm asking. I have no idea
either.
I thought like they did a lot of rope tricks, didn't they? I might be confusing it with someplace else.
We'll have to do a little research and
yeah, we'll have to do a little research. Maybe mom knows.
Yeah.
My mom is a funny lady, she says. Yeah, if anybody knows that Pakistan magic, I'm gonna look that up.
But I think it's awesome though that you do include like your grandma in some of your videos and like her reactions and just everything. It's so like organic and genuine. And I think honestly that's one of the things that you absolutely have going for you is, you know, like you said, whether it was overcoming your shyness or anything, you always come through as genuine. And I think that plays so well. And honestly, I don't think anyone would think of you as shy at this point. You seem so confident in everything you do. So
it's been a long, this is like the person you see now, I had to do a lot of inner work, you know? It's, I was very, very insecure, and I knew that, but I knew I wanted to get better. So I watched a lot of, on YouTube, I watched a lot of like motivational speeches in college, whether that was like Brown or Alan Watts, and then Jim Carrey as well. Like I would just listen to these things and act like they were 100% the truth, and like they were talking to me. And slowly but surely, I read self-help books, and I just constantly try to get better at better at things. And magic was something that I used to like put that out, you know.
Right. Yeah.
It's definitely an amazing journey you've had with it. I think, you know, I'm sure if you back then could look at where you are now, they probably would be in disbelief, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I asked this question to everybody. Well, not everybody that comes on, but a lot of people that come on. Now, if you were stranded on an island, right?
Okay.
And you could bring 5 decks with you. Well, let's say 3 decks. Let's say 3. We'll make it a little harder for you. What 3 decks would you bring on this island with you?
Okay, so originally I really loved Theory 11's Monarchs. Monarchs were like my favorite since the beginning. So that's definitely on the list. Monarchs, and then Nox, just because I don't know which ones. I think probably like the Super Nox. I don't have them yet, but if I did have them.
Which ones?
The Super Nox. I think they're
The
great.
original or the Batman? The Batman or the Superman one?
The Superman one is the light blue one, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
The Superman one then.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they sold out and I didn't have a chance to get it. But that as well as I'm trying to think.
So Monarchs, Super Knock.
Super Nox, and I'm blanking. I think it has to be forgot the names. Sorry guys. Just give me a second.
It's all good.
I'll get to it. I have to say probably anything from Theory 11. I can't think of anything right now, but Theory 11's always been like my go-to for card tricks.
They make a classic looking deck that's still affordable, which I think is a business model that a lot of people have a tough time with for them. So
yeah,
how about you?
The Monarch is phenomenal. I love the Monarch.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you go first, Tyler.
Yeah, what's your top 3, Tyler?
Ooh.
Let me guess. Man. I know one of them. I know one.
So I actually have 2 of them behind me. What are you going to guess, Steve?
Joker and the Thief was one.
Oh, yeah, which I don't have any behind me of them. But so this one right here, which is the bicycle espionage. Hold on, let me block my face so it like...
Put your hand behind the deck.
All right.
I'm trying to look.
You got to back up, though. Back up a little. There you go.
This is not like
Tom's having a little issue.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't want to focus, so it hates me today, and that's fine. But
yeah,
I think it's the shiny, like the reflectiveness of it. But the bicycle espionage foil deck.
We can see it now.
Yeah, and then I got this one right here, which is actually an older Theory 11, which is the propaganda deck.
Propaganda. Oh my god, that deck is so.
Which is a phenomenal Theory 11 deck. And then anything by Joker and the Thief. I love the work that James Millares does. I think his brand is phenomenal, and they're always fun decks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, my turn, huh? Definitely Monarchs for sure as my number one. Second would be the Knockout White.
Oh, I had those.
Super classy. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that deck. And my third deck would have to be, I'm gonna say, the Crypt from Lautrec.
Ooh, that's a.
And the reason why is because I have to bring a really epic deck, not just one that I can use and batter and beat on, but
most people still don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, a deck that I can look at and still be amazed at what used to be when I was off the island. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are my 3.
What island are we going on? Like, where is this island? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, if it's Tropical Island, you're in trouble because that humidity is going to kill those decks.
A lot of Survivor girls.
It'll buckle. It'll be a buckling deck in no time.
Sure.
I mean, if all 3 of us went to the island, we would have 9 decks,
and they'd still all buckle and get trashed real quick. But
that's true. Yeah.
So one other thing too, Hebah, I'm curious about. You mentioned 2 of these collabs that you have coming up with Sean Does Magic and Evan the Card Guy. Who's another magician or the top 3 magicians that you really want to collab with, whether it be short term or down the road, like those dream collaborations for you?
Oh man, are you guys gonna hate me if I say David Blaine?
No, I think honestly, if you didn't say David Blaine, I'd be genuinely concerned. So
top of the list for sure. Another, of course, ECAT as well. And then another really, really talented cardist and magician. Her name is Anna de Guzman. She's in LA right now, and I've always, thought she was really, really just like. She was living the life I wanted to live. So I was just like, I need to go have a conversation with her, and I want to pick her brain a little bit.
Nice. Are you going to talk to her when you're out there?
I think so. I haven't gotten into contact with her just because I haven't messaged
her. Email her. Email her. She's super nice, super responsive. I don't think a lot of people don't respond on Instagram because they're just it's too crazy. You know, there's a lot of people probably leaving messages, so they don't even check it anymore. So I think your best bet on some of these people is definitely through email, and Anna's super cool.
Yeah, someone said you guys should have her on the show. Yeah.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we will. Yeah, you never know. That's the fun part about not announcing the guest until the week before, is we like that little bit of mystery to it. So
you never know.
We'll
you
have
never
to
know
throw
who's going to be on next week's guest.
Yeah, we'll have to throw up a story. I haven't done one in a while to see who people want to be guests. So we'll definitely make that happen. But
yeah, that'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a good idea. So when do you plan on coming out with a deck?
So I haven't started anything with it yet. So
okay.
Oh, someone just said Eric Jones. Eric Jones as well. He is things he could do with coins. Oh man.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, he's a boss for sure.
Also, like,
he's a rad guy too. Super nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super sweet guy.
Within a couple months, for sure. Yes. I don't know how long it takes to, like, the whole production, from design to print. Like, I don't know how long that takes. I did ask Rise Magic about that, Chandler and Grant. I just don't know. I need advice, to be honest, before I.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different depending on what your goal is. If you're going to have somebody else design it.
Yeah.
Who's going to design it? Who you want to print through? I mean, there's so much.
There's a lot of it I have to research and all that, but within the couple, like, as soon as possible. That's the best answer. Because,
so you like to start it as soon as possible. It's definitely not a process that can happen that quick. That's for sure. I think everybody is surprised as to what it takes to from start to finish to put out a deck. Especially nowadays when I think delivery times are a little crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's actually one of the guys in the chat right now, Incantation Cards, Mike. He just has his deck coming out now. Talk to Mike as well. He's in the process of actually just printing the Incantation Cards. His deck's beautiful and Magician.
So good. So, hey, Mike, while you're here, would you say this is baby blue or would you say this is mint? Is this mint or baby blue?
I can't wait to win. I'm so excited to win right now.
And we're discussing this. Was it mint or was it baby blue? So, well, I guess we'll figure it out now.
Yeah, here's a good comment from ECAT too. With COVID, things are slower, so I would budget more time. Absolutely, hands down. I mean, sure. USPCC still hasn't caught up from their backlog of when they shut down for a couple weeks. Cardamundi is slow in the best of times, so you can only imagine how they're going to be now. But
he said ghoul green.
All right,
good answer.
No one wins, I guess.
And if you were to think ghoul green, what color would you think? I would think mint.
He said mint. Mike, I see how it is.
Mike, I got you, Mike. I got you.
Yep. Sorry, Tyler.
No, it happens. I'm okay with it.
He's colorblind.
I'm not colorblind. This is a rumor that's going to start on the internet. I am not colorblind. I'll throw it right out there. But
he doesn't think he's colorblind.
Actually, we have some great. As I'm saying, and calling out Mike there, we actually have some great deck creators. ECAT's created her own deck. Paul Ruccio, who's in there right now, just finished his funding with the Jet Setter playing cards.
Yeah.
So
Jet Setter.
Yeah. Steve's just pulling cards out of everywhere at this point. But
I can't. It's on my display. I can't pull it up. Sorry.
But the great thing about the community as a whole is I think there's so many people who have gone through the process who are willing to share it. It's definitely where you can get a lot of information just reaching out to some of the campaigns out there, even as they're going on.
Yeah.
So.
And if you need any, like Tyler said, if you need anything, you just ask people, and people are pretty knowledgeable in that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tyler is becoming a common thing.
I'm okay with this.
Tyler.
I'm okay with it. You just
but you know what? He still looks good with his beard, even if he's wrong. So it's okay.
I never said I was colorblind. Steve said I was colorblind. My internet went out. I came back, and Steve was claiming I was colorblind. My internet went out. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
Just to clarify, I feel like this is going to haunt me forever that I'm colorblind. Like, I'm not.
It's just an opinion. That's all.
Yes. And I'll throw it out there. Everyone sees colors differently, which I think is one of the most fascinating thing about colors. No two people see colors the same way, which I think is awesome.
That's a good debate, Tyler.
I mean, it's true. It's scientifically true. I'm not trying to use it as a defense. I think that's so fascinating, though. But either way, so Hebah,
Yes.
I have to say, I think you're doing phenomenal things with Magic. I really do hope that you soon start coming out with some tutorials on YouTube, because I think the pull of your YouTube is going to be phenomenal. I think there's going to be a solid following there. But one of the things I'm really curious about is, actually one of the questions that came in was, do you have a mentor? And I think through the things we've discussed, your YouTube will call your mentor in this case. Have you ever considered finding like someone to kind of mentor you with Magic in the way things used to be done, I guess?
Yes, because I've like gotten so many different opinions of, especially ones that haven't really gone through the same thing as me. So I think like having a mentor would definitely be so helpful, just because they understand like what, like either someone that's been through it or, has taught someone that's been through it. I think that would be like the next step. I know, I'm not familiar with his name. I think his name is Alex. He was mentored by David Blaine mentor. And then I don't know. I think that's the next step I do want to take. I just don't know, who and stuff, but that's just a matter of like me reaching out to people. I don't have the best, I don't really do that too much, just because your girl gets lazy.
Well, so doesn't your boy.
Yeah. But listen, though, if anyone's watching this and has experience mentoring in Magic and would love to mentor Hebah, reach out to her on Instagram or TikTok.
I'm always trying to learn. Yeah, for sure. This is all so new to me too. So there's like, I feel like I'm just breaking the mountain. I'm just slowly going up and up and up, and I need someone to like help me along the way, because it's also scary, going for your dreams and all that.
Absolutely.
No, that's for sure.
So, well, and like you said, in the past 5-6 months, you've really gone from like start to where you are now. It's been a very fast process. It really, you've been thrown right into the fire. So I could see where it's intimidating, and I think you've done a phenomenal job navigating it. But realizing that you do need to find those people to help you along the way is just how you're going to continue to be successful.
Mm-hmm. What they say?
Mark.
Well,
we didn't get one this week, man.
You can ask Kyle about that. He's been MIA for the past couple of days, so it happens.
Yeah.
But
all good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we got a good deck sniff in there. So
we did.
We're happy with it. See?
I'm kind of afraid to smell this one. I might grow a tail. It's so old. It kind of smells. You ever notice when you're playing around, do you have like an old deck of Nox? And it might smell like that with other decks. I've just noticed that this one deck really smells different than others. But it kind of smells, I don't know, like cooking oil or something.
It's probably just grease from your hands.
Yeah, you probably.
No.
Cards.
I think it's just the ink rub it. It's just weird.
So a good question came in from Caitlin as well that I want to throw up here. And I think it's more, if anything, than a collab idea, which I think would be awesome. Would you be down to do a collab where you teach her Magic and she teaches you cardistry?
Oh, cool.
Absolutely. I think that's such a good idea, just because like cardistry Magic, I feel like both of us together.
I think it would be sick to see.
Like, may or may not be something she's working on for the future.
Well, we can definitely help encourage both of you to get that done. No being lazy there. I think that would be a phenomenal collab. I'd love to see it.
I'd love to see more collabs for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody,
absolutely.
Hook it up. You have a nice little Netflix show going on. You can do cardistry with, if you have small hands, you have cardistry with small hands.
Do you know how small my hands are? I just you guys see like the deck of cards compared to my hands.
You have no idea.
Yeah,
your hands
Caitlin,
are huge. Your hands are huge.
You have giant hands compared to Caitlin.
You have giant hands.
Offense, Caitlin.
You have giant hands.
Yes.
Caitlin, go. Yeah, she'll send Caitlin. Send Hebah a picture of a deck of cards in your hands.
Want to compare something? No.
Oh my God! Caitlin's name is
awesome.
perfectly fitting for her hand size, so it's perfect. But
She says small hands. What's that?
but
it's crazy.
well, before we kind of wind things down here, were there any last minute questions in the chat? If anyone had anything they wanted to get out, we can pull it up. But yeah, otherwise, now Hebah, I have to say, I was super excited to. First off, I'm getting sidetracked because Caitlin just dropped in here. I am offended. No one has ever told me my hands are small before, and this is why we.
You know what, Caitlin? That would really work if your handle wasn't small hand things.
And here's a good question from Paul too that just came in.
That's a good question.
If you could experience a magic trick for the last time, would you rather be shown the trick as a spectator or show the trick as a magician?
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool question.
That is a very good question, Paul. I think it all comes down to when I started magic, I started as a spectator and I just loved it. I think it gave me so much, like just that, effect of magic. And I think if I did want to see a magic trick for the last time, I would want to watch it, not
Interesting.
just because, I have my whole life to perform. It's very rare where I'm like amazed at a magic trick. But also, we didn't specify this. Did I know how to do the magic trick?
That's a good question.
Interesting.
Because if I know how it's done, then I would rather do it.
Yeah, I could see that too. Because then at least you're getting the reaction to kind of feed the performance versus if you know how it's done, you're the spectator. Even though I don't know, like I've seen stuff done before and then had it explained to me and then seen it done again later on, and I'm just like, that's still awesome. But I think that speaks a lot to the quality of the trick. Like I think there's certain tricks once you know the mystery's broken, but like I think some tricks are just even beyond explanation. They still, are wonderful. So
yeah, like the snap change.
No, not the snap change. I'll never live that one down either.
Tyler has the best snap change of all time.
I scare myself with my snap change. Yeah, I'll send you the video in our little chat there. It's painful. It's painful. It's me. This is why I grew the beard. I'm in witness protection for my horrible snap change.
You know what the cool thing about it is, because I think, and this literally says, explains Tyler perfectly, is the fact that because he does get so excited and shocked when he sees magic tricks, it doesn't matter if he sees other people doing the magic trick or if he sees himself doing it.
I'm shocked it worked. Oh my god!
So it's so funny.
We had one other question that came in from Ali here. Since you're from Morocco, did you take a look at the history of magic there? Do you have any relations with magicians within the country?
Oh, Ali. Quick answer. No, I used to go to Morocco like every summer, and that was really great. But I didn't ever show anyone that I did magic there. So I never really looked into it. I'm not gonna lie. I do get contacted by Moroccans or just Arabs in general. Like I'm a magician too. Like we should let's talk. And it's really cool seeing magic being performed in like my language. It's just really cool. I never expected to see a magic trick in Arabic.
No, that's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's the cool thing about Instagram or TikTok or whatever. It's just there's no barriers, and you can make people smile without language. So it's really cool. It transcends all of that. And Mike actually has a good question. Let's get in on that one too.
Where do you see the future of magic going after COVID? Will it be more virtual or will it go back to in-person performance? Oof.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go back to in-person performances, not like knocking out virtual, because virtual is very, very, like it's important and it's effective. So I don't think either one of them is going to cancel out. I think it's going to be a lot more virtual shows because people have tried it and there was like a moment where that's all there was. But also a lot of people do miss magic, like in-person magic. So I think once you do get the clear with it all, I think it's going to be very, very. The industry is going to boom.
Yeah. I mean, Spidey did a show the other day.
Did
His
he?
first live show, which was really cool to see. And it was outside. Seats were like super far apart, but it's really cool. I think just that interaction in person is so different than obviously virtual, you know. And I think people are always going to want that interaction. And yeah.
We got a couple more questions that just flowed in. We'll throw those up real quick. So, Caitlin stepping in for Kyle here. What's the weirdest smell you've ever smelled?
The weirdest smell I've ever smelled. Oh man, why am I instantly thinking of those Harry Potter jelly beans?
Oh my god, yeah, the ones where you have to like guess what it is. That's a game of Russian roulette that I do not play.
I don't play that either. I won't eat those things.
I played it as a little kid, and I don't think I ever wanted to play it again. So
it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it really doesn't make sense.
Someone always ends up with the booger one. That's a game you just lose.
I just don't understand. First of all, who came up with that taste? How do you know?
That's the other thing. I just blocked that part out because someone has the worst job in the world if they have to be the one who decides what that tastes like. So
that's terrible. Dawn wants to know what your favorite card is.
Dawn, my favorite card. Well, at the moment, I don't want to keep plugging him, but I did also get David Blaine, Skull and Bones.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know who sent it to me, by the way. It was very, very mysterious.
Was it like a random?
Yeah, it was sent to my PO box, and someone, just one name. It was just David from Brooklyn, and I had to think, did David Blaine send this to me right now? But then I'm like, no, he didn't. Shut up, Hebah. That's not.
That would be dope, though.
David sent it to you, but yeah, they were like sold out, and I have no idea. That's crazy. But those cards are very, very. I like the design on them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Weird.
But still, I have very weak hands, so I like the springy cards.
They'll break in with time. You just got to keep using them.
Yeah.
And then last question we have here from Paul.
Oh.
If it shows up.
That's a Kyle question too.
This is Paul loves travel. So if a taxi limo pulled up to your house right now and said, "Hey, we're heading to the airport. You can fly anywhere place right now. Where do you want to go and why?"
Paul's asking you because he's a pilot, so he can take you there.
Oh, really? All right, Paul. Let's see.
That's an easy question. The next one.
I love traveling, so I don't think there's one place, but probably somewhere where magic is not big. Maybe because Morocco, I don't hate to say Morocco, but maybe someplace in Africa, just like where magic is seen as black magic, don't do it. Just to prove people that it's not that bad, and also women can do it too.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say South Africa. Final answer, just because I have a lot of friends from South.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And so we have one other question here.
Oh, we have a couple.
Who would you? Yeah.
Oh, going in. All right, I see.
Who would you rather perform to Magic to, David Blaine or Dynamo?
Man, they're both so good, and they have similar traits as far as performance style, but they're so different and so good in their own way. My heart says David Blaine, just because that's who I grew up with. That's like the guy who started it all for me. So David for sure. Sorry.
That would be a sick one.
Yeah.
And then last question here, which I'm afraid of this one. So here you go.
I want to know this one. Caitlin.
Describe Tyler and Steve with one word.
We should start asking all our guests this. This will be funny.
I think you're very ambitious, both of you guys. You started this. You had this idea in your head. You wanted to start a podcast, and you did it. And you're very, you're happy when you're doing it. It's just like you could hate it. You could just be like, but you guys are having so much fun with it. So I think both you guys are ambitious.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate that.
And again, I think that's a great word to describe you as well. Obviously, you're ambitiously chasing your dream of performing for people. I think it's amazing though. And,
Yeah.
I'm really so happy that we got you on the show. I didn't think when I said to Steve, yeah, we have to have this girl on the show at some point that it would happen so quickly, but I'm so glad it did.
Did you doubt my skills at getting a guest on?
No, I doubted our schedule because we're terrible at scheduling short term. So I'm glad we got you on now. Thank you, Steve. But I'm really glad that we got you on. Honestly, I think, this has been a really fun time getting to know you better, getting to see a lot of the support that came in from the chat for you, some of the people who came in. Obviously, thank you to everyone who checked out the show tonight. But yeah,
yes,
this has been a blast, and I'm really excited to see where you go, Hebah.
Yeah, we're excited.
Contacting me and everything. This is my first ever podcast, and I wouldn't.
Yay!
So you guys, Tyler, Steve, the best. And anyone in the chat as well, please come on the show. And my mom says thank you as well. So
Mom, thank you so much for having.
Thank you
Hebah.
for raising such an amazing daughter who is going to be a phenomenal magician, and we can't wait to see where she goes with this.
I have a great idea.
What's up?
I'm scared.
I think. Come on. I think we should have Hebah tell everybody who's going to be on next week after our sponsors.
Okay, so why don't we roll our sponsors real quick, and we will be right back, guys, to tell you who's going to be on the show next week.
All right.
Introducing the Latin Quarter playing cards and gaming chips from McClure and Stark. This ultimate poker player's chip set will turn every poker night into an underground casino night. Make sure to check them out on Kickstarter now.
Marvelous decks, masterfully crafted, meticulously recreated with a specialized printing process that utilizes multiple holographic foils and sculpted embossing. No compromises were made when recreating these feathers at a zoomed-in scale. Pre-sale starts 9/26/2020. Stay tuned for remaining details. MarvelousDecks.com or Marvelous Decks on Instagram.
So, the moment of truth, Hebah.
Now, when they announced this to me, sorry to cut you off.
No, go for it.
I was so excited because these two people were a major part of my, why I started TikTok. Why I started Magic. Because I watched their tutorials so many times. I literally learned Anaconda from them. Without further ado, the next guest of Decking Around is Grant and Chandler.
Wrong one, but close.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, no, let's do that again. But same thing as well, because he was like.
Since we hyped him all night, that was the best. Honestly, that was perfect.
I love it. It happens. Relax. Do it. So,
Ready?
Next person that's going to be on the live is Alex Pandrea. I just love myself. This is great.
That was so good.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We really do appreciate having all of you come out to support the show and support Hebah. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We really try and drop some fun content for you every week. So next week, Alex Pandrea will be on. Hopefully, Rise Magic will be on at some point in the future as well.
Crazy, right? Yeah, we'll get him one day. One day
we'll get him on.
One day. That'll be a good day.
And honestly, I'm so glad we got to meet your mom in the chat today, too. I can't wait to see what her TikTok looks like.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You'll have to share it when she gets it.
I will.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. Enjoy your evening. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. And thank you, Hebah. Peace!
Bye, guys.